Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Thursday, April 22nd. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We picked a nice winner with the Rangers team total over 3.5 at -110 on DraftKings. Looked a little bit dicey early. Quintana was struggling, but the Rangers couldn't capitalize. Had one run by the time that he ended up getting pulled. Then they had one run going into the eighth inning, so we needed a little bit of an offensive explosion, and we got it. Texas scored 4 runs into the eighth, and then they ended up scoring 2 more in the ninth for fun. Finished with 7 runs, nice time. We'll look for another winner here on Thursday. However, if you look at the baseball card and the basketball card, really not a fan of anything in particular. With the NBA, you have so many injury question marks that I didn't want to bother. And with baseball, you have a decent amount of games that don't have lines yet. So for that reason, we're going to be doing something we haven't done in a little while, something that we have done on occasion on this show. It's going to be on hockey. And the play that is going to be on a match between the Devils and the Penguins, taking place at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And for the play of the day, we like a total, and we like the over 6 at -112 on DraftKings on recording of 2:29 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like the over 6 in this spot. First of all, most books have 6.5. You look around, Fox bet a 6.5, FanDuel 6.5 as well. Really not many 6s left. I saw that there was a 6 at BetMGM at -115, but DraftKings does have -112. So I'll take the free 3 cents there and the free half point if you compare it to some of the other books. But a couple reasons why I do think this game will be pretty high scoring. First of all, these teams have played pretty high scoring games lately. Each of the last 3 meetings have had at least 7 combined goals. The last game that they played ended up having 13 goals. That game ended up finishing at 7-6. However, you look at the Devils, and this team has been awful defensively. You make the argument that the Devils are going through a bit of a youth movement after trading Palmieri and trading Zajac to the Islanders at the trade deadline because they know that this team is awful. However, the defense has been bad all season long, and the Devils have definitely not improved as the season has progressed. New Jersey has allowed at least 4 goals in 6 of its last 7 games. They can't stop anybody, and you're looking at how they've done against the Penguins lately. Spoiler alert, it's not very good. You're looking at Pittsburgh, and the Penguins have scored pretty, I'd say, handily and pretty often against the Devils. They have scored at least 5 goals in each of the last 3 meetings, and I do think Pittsburgh at home, who's 17-3-2 at home, should have looked pretty sharp offensively against this very underwhelming defense, especially with Subban, who's currently dealing with some injury issues for the Devils, and the fact that they do have a backup goalie because Blackwood is out indefinitely. But looking at some other factors here, Pittsburgh has also been in some high-scoring games lately. 7 of Pittsburgh's last 9 games have had at least 6 goals, and of course 6 is a push in this situation. But the fact that New Jersey doesn't play much defense doesn't change the fact that Pittsburgh has a great offense and also does not play much defense. You look at what the Penguins have done lately, they've kind of also been struggling to keep their opponents out of the net. The Penguins allowed 6 goals against New Jersey on the 20th and allowed 4 goals against the Sabres on the 18th. But that Devils game that they ended up playing on the 20th was absolutely crazy. The Penguins were up 6-0 after 2 periods and then got outscored 6-1 in the third period. 7 goals combined in the third period for a 7-6 final. I just don't really see much defense being played here. New Jersey's really seemed to struggle to get the puck out of their zone with all the young players. And Pittsburgh, with Crosby and company, I think have too much firepower. Should probably score at least 4 or 5 goals in this game. And I do think that the Devils should be able to score at least 2 or 3. You know, the Devils' last couple of games did score 3 against the Rangers, scored 3 against the Rangers again, and then scored 6 against the Penguins into their last game. So offensively, they have actually been doing pretty well. Defensively, the Devils are an absolute mess. So I do think this line should probably climb up to around 6.5 in most spots. I'll take the potential half point there based on the projected line move. Looking at New Jersey and some trends, the over is 8-2 in New Jersey's last 10 games. So they've been playing high-scoring games, I said. And the over is 8-2-1 in Pittsburgh's last 11 games when their opponent scores at least 5 goals in the previous game. So all things being considered, I think you will see a high-scoring game here. I think Pittsburgh should get to 4 or 5. And I do think the Devils should do enough to get at least 2 across, which is why I think you're looking at either a push or a winner. So hopefully that ends up happening. Plus, if you do have a 3-3 situation, you do have a guaranteed winner, which is always a nice to have that little insurance piece in your back pocket. The play that I once again here for Thursday, April 22nd is going to be on the Devils and the Penguins, over 6 at -112 on DraftKings. That's been this installment. Scott talking to all of you and respect the best today. Bye, everyone.